In this video, I team up with my good buddy Joe to do some cannonballing for crappie, but not before fishing without any electronics, and then fishing some deep timber with live scope. Let's get started.
First thing that I look for when I'm looking for fish that are going to be over 2 pounds is bait fish. Big crappie stay around with big clouds of bait fish during the months of December. Now they also will get around standing timber, so that's kind of what we're going to focus on. We're in an area, you can see the water's 52 foot deep. We're in an area that there's a lot of bait fish, and there's also some standing timber, and we're going to use the live scope over there, try to locate some bigger fish in the standing timber. You can see some trees right here. There's some fish in those trees right there. From my experience, big crappie tend to be more individual fish, I guess. They don't really roam in schools. Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to be able to catch some in around some other school fish, but typically when I catch the big one, they're going to be either around bait, shad, balls of shad like this in open water, or they're going to be around standing timber. All right, one of the first things that I'm going to do when I'm targeting bigger fish is I'm going to use a bigger bait. Got a 1/4 ounce head right here, and we're going to take this body off, and we're fixing to put on a swimming fluke here. That's what I've got handy. We'll put it on first. I got him that time, boys. I got him. Come here, you. Come on now. There we go. Come here, girl. Oh, shoot. His eyes bugged out of his head and everything when I hit him, boy. It scared him to death. He's not quite 2 pounds, but he'll taste good in the skillet. And he bit that big old bait. I really enjoy fishing with big baits, because then that way you don't have to worry about cleaning a bunch if you ain't wanting to. You know, you're just trying to fish for larger fish. I got that one. He's not very big, doggone it. Little old bitty thing bit that. You crazy thing, you. Little old bitty one bit it. He likes big shad too, I guess. I'm using the back end right this minute. I'm using the back side of that transducer. Those fish are under the bow. I've got this thing facing forward, but I'm using the back side of it. He got it. He got it. He's little too. Try to catch big ones and catch little ones. There was just a big group of them. I dropped it down in amongst the big, all of them, and right out there and got it. I got that one. He's a good one, I think. Come here, you. He's way out there. Yeah, there's a better one. Yeah, that's a better one. Way out there. Gotta put them in the box, though. I sure would like to rather just release them. If y'all hear that I've got my engine running, you got a live scope, you may run into the same issue that I have. If you get the fishing too long, man, it'll run that battery down. So I'll turn it on and crank it and let it run for a little while. and get the voltage back up to 12.2 there. It was down to 10.8. You don't get as clear of a picture, and then also you'll get out here and get stranded. I've had that happen 3 times. See how they act with this one. Yeah, they got it. First cast on the blue and white, and one smacked. A little black crappie. He's a good one. A nice little black crappie. And I put a 1/8 ounce head on this blue and white, and they first cast in there, boy, they got it. Hit the thumbs up. All right, I moved areas. I'm going to try somewhere a little shallower. Not by much, but a little bit. Around the channel here and see what I can find here. See if there's any bigger fish here. There was a lot over there where I was. A lot of them were black crappie. Good keeper size crappie, but that ain't what I'm trying to catch. So I'm going to see what happens here. Oh, what do we got? What do we got here? What do we have? Something strong. It can't be a crappie. It is, though. It's just a strong black crappie. That sun gun got the funk on him, too, man. Dang. Look at that. Got the nasty on him. Ooh. Yes, he come up and got it. Yes, he did. He couldn't stand that blue and white jig swimming by him, buddy. Look out. Look out. Ooh, hey, looky here. Come here, you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one there. Nice white crappie. The bigger white crappie seem to be hanging 25 to 30 feet. The black crappie I've seen up to 20. It seems like that when I catch them out of this deep water like that, timber, the black crappie are always above the white crappie. And they're usually in larger schools too. I'll see some, I might see 20, 25 black crappie. And then there are only maybe 6 or 8 white underneath them. Keep that color of that jig as bright as those fish are. And it can be difficult in this deeper water. It can be challenging for sure. There, because if you're not, you'll be several feet off. Time you get down 20, 25 foot of water, you can be several foot off away from them if that bait is not the same color, same brightness what those fish are. And that's kind of what just happened to me. I was just a little ways away from them, and they just didn't want to swim out that far to get it. I had a lot of follow it today. There he comes. He followed it a long way before he actually ate it. Nice fish too. Really good one. Nice fish. In the box. I'm using 6-pound line on this rod too, and it helps get that bait down in that strike zone a lot quicker. Obviously, braid's more sensitive, but sometimes being able to get there's another one right out of the same tree. Sometimes being able to get down to them is more important than being able to really feel the bite, because if you can't get to them, you ain't gonna catch them. Another good nice fish. Another nice fish. Man, he ate that bait too. Look at there.
Got that bait down in his mouth. Got it down in there good. What I was saying is that the braid will, you know, obviously you can detect the strike better and get maybe better hook penetration. Come out there and got it. Oh, yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one. Pull, baby, pull. Come on. Yeah, look at here. Another good fat one. Another nice one. See if I can get one to come off of that bush. He did. He come off of it and got it too. He's not very big, but he did. He come off of that thing. Oh, shucks. Yes. And that's what you gotta keep too, unfortunately. Alright, y'all, so I hadn't been on this body of water since March. I'm gonna start doing some fishing over here, because right now on Lake Fork, you have to keep the first 25 you catch. And I've got plenty of fish, and there's a lot of people that I go with that don't want to keep anything that's 8 or 9 inches long, and they'd like to keep some that's a little bigger. So I'm over here checking it out, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking in shallower water first, because the shallowest water is easier for me to catch them in versus the deep water. So I'm going to use my side imaging, and I'm going to scan around, and I see fish, and I'm going to use my 2D in my down scan as well. What I'll tell you is that a lot of times the crappie will get out of the brush this time of year, and they will just hold really, really tight to the bottom. And I know that goes against all that you've heard about, you know, crappie always suspending and this and that, and yes, they do. But this time of year and at other times of year, they will hold right on the bottom. I catch them a lot of times that'll have mud on their bellies. It's normally when it gets really cold, I'll catch them like that, and then if I'm fishing in shallow water like I am today, it makes those fish really hard to see. And like you'll just see little bitty blimps on the bottom right here. Those could be crappie, it could be catfish, could be bass. We don't know exactly until we start fishing for them. But they'll hold really tight to the bottom like that, and they'll just look like little rock. Normally if you get in a little area like this where there's just a little bit of decrease or increase in depth, right as the transition line is what we would call it, that's the break line. That's where the fish will be setting. And if you notice, we came up right in here and we got into this 10 foot of water, and there's a stump right there, and there's a cluster of crappie right there around it. See if I can get you a little closer. There's a little cluster of crappie right around it. You can see some images on the outside edges of the stump, and then also right around the stump as well. So those are the kind of fish that I'm going to stay. Look at here. Here's another. Now this could be a school of gizzard shad because there's so many, but it also could be a school of crappie too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to throw the live scope over, see if I can't catch a few of these. And let's see, we'll adjust the depth on this thing. We're going to get it down. Let's see, we're in 10.5 feet. So we'll go down to the bottom being 11. I like to keep my forward range at about 30 feet. Got 6-pound line on the little rod here. One of my favorite color jigs. So the water temperature is only 60 degrees, so it's not very cold. 60 and a half actually. What I like to do when I'm in this shallower water is I like to stay off of the fish first and try to make casts to them. Because it is so shallow, they can get spooked sometimes from the trolling motor, especially when there's no wind like this. So I'm going to try to cast that jig out there and let it go to the bottom. Because like I said, these fish are holding really tight to the bottom. Most of them are on this particular body of water. That's what it looks like. And so I'm going to let it go to the bottom, tighten my line up a little bit, and I'm just going to reel it a couple times, let it fall back to the bottom. A couple turns, let it fall back to the bottom. I'll do that first, And then if that's not working, you know, I'll just hold it, you know, right on top of them. I'll just fish straight down and get on top of the fish and just hold the bait there. With this water temperature being 60, I'm almost thinking that they're going to be chasing a little more, and I'm not going to have to just hold it real still in front of them. But you never know from day to day. Once you think you figure them out, you know, they're just like women. You're wrong. These fish are fattening up for the winter, but it ain't ever going to get winter here, I don't guess. Like I say, I'm going to start out in this shallower water. There's a lot of activity around. This bait may not be big enough. These shad look pretty big. This is just an 1/8 ounce jig that I've got on here, and a little small profile. Oh, where's one? Holly bum. Ooh, look at here, what done got it. Look at that. Look at that. You think that fish didn't want that bait? Look at that, how far it is down in there. Look at that. Golly. He busted it. Well, it's a good way to start out, man. Just a few minutes of fishing here. I had to move out from 10 to 12.5 feet to get my first bite. Fish was right out yonder. Let's see if there's another one out there. Just gonna let it go down. Just hopping it along, keeping contact with it, just working it slow. Oh golly, there's another one. There's another one. Hey, it's another good one too. Boy, I tell you what. They love that little bait right there, buddy. Get off there. Another nice little keeper. Man, I tell you what, that didn't take long at all. We'll just keep casting around. See if we can't locate a pretty good school of them somewhere. 2 fish in 3 or 4 minutes here. Back-to-back cast. One thing about them, if you don't get right on them sometimes, you're not going to catch them. They just won't go very far to get it. Especially if these water temperatures start getting cooler. I think I'm going to try a different color just because this water is so dingy. Oh, I see something right here close to the boat. Right under us here. Let me see. So one thing about this live scope technology, you can just pick them and see them just right underneath you. Golly bum, shoot, knocked the fire out of that thing and I missed him. Shoot, caught me counting my change. Dadgummit. Let's see if he'll come back on it. No, he don't want it. I guess it stinks. Trying that old pink and blue now. This is an 1/8 ounce as well. You can see the head's been beat up on it. It's caught a couple of them. I've got 15-pound line on this pole because there's usually a lot of cover around and you have to get them out of it, but this is just open. Oh, I can come out and got it, guys. Look at there. Look at that. Man. When you get in front of one, they really get after it. You see on this live scope, right there's one holding close to the bottom. Oh, it moved, swimming around. Right there. So I can just pitch around with this longer pole. I don't have to cast. Kind of just pitch it out there and get it the distance I need it and let it go down. Kind of just let it fall right down on top of the fish there. Let it go down to it, nice and easy. Remember always, when you pitch that jig out there, that minnow or whatever you're using, make sure it's the same color as them fish you're trying to catch. That way and what I mean by that, the same brightness. That jig needs to be the same brightness as that fish. And that means you in his neighborhood and you can get him. If it's faint, if the fish is really bright and your jig is real faint, you're not close to them. Sometimes they won't chase after it to get it. So you got to really make sure your cast is accurate. Make sure that that bait's right there in front of him, especially when these water temperatures get a little cooler like this. They won't chase it as far. Golly, that one come out there and got it. Man, I tell you what, that's all I had to do. Even though that other little color was one of my most favorite colors there is, I just had to get something on a little bit brighter in this dingier water so that they could find it a little easier. It's brighter and it's also bigger, so it's displacing more water, and they can find it a whole lot easier. All I'm doing now is I kind of got in this spot where I first caught one, and I'm just sitting here, and I can turn this thing. Luckily, we're fortunate the wind's not blowing, so luckily I'm able to just pitch around and stay in one spot without the trolling motor going nuts, and see if I can, you know, just catch more and more fish. Just catch them, you know, the ones that are just hanging around in this particular area. They like this particular spot for some reason. Could be that the bottom's a little harder. Could be it's softer. I don't really know that. All I know is that they like it for some reason, so we're going to catch all we can out of it before we move on somewhere else. That one did. Golly. Hey, that may be a good one too. Yes, sir. That ain't half bad. Not a bad one, though. We'll take it. Thank you, sir. I'm just going to turn this thing around here in circles. I see another one over here. Let's see if we can get one of them to bite. Looks like there's two of them. Oh, he did. As soon as you get it by him, buddy, he gets it. Golly. Whew. Hey, and that one's bigger than the last one. Heck yeah. They liking that little old bait, aren't they? Man, there's some good little keepers right there. Get back in there. As soon as I throw them in there, I see them on this live scope. They zoom right back down to the bottom. Here's one right here under the boat. Look at here, right here. I mean, it just showed up. Right here. Drop it down. Oh, we got it! Oh, that's crazy. Oh, shoot. Now you see why their head's all beat up on that jig, don't you? There we go. I think that sometimes, I think them crappie are so thin, sometimes you can't see them. And then if you just sit here, you turn that thing, they'll turn sideways a little bit, and then you'll be able to pick them up. All right, I've established there's a few here, so let's move somewhere else and see if we can't find another school somewhere. Need as many spots as we can get. Hey y'all, it's the first week of December. In today's video, I'm going to be catching crappie without using any electronics. Yeah, I said it, without using any electronics. It was 23 degrees here this morning. I get to the lake, I don't have any battery. I got my trolling motor batteries, and that's all. So I decided to go ahead and fish since I was here, and I'm gonna see what I can catch. Y'all stay with me. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I got a general idea of where the fish are located. I'm not going to be able to see on any depth, you know. I don't have anything to check that out. I have no electronics of any kind, so I'm just going to have to cast around and drag around and see what I can find. I'm going to start out with this little gray jig right here. It's an 1/8 ounce right there. I've got a 1/4 ounce chartreuse and blue that I will be chunking at some point too if this one doesn't work. So we'll just see what happens. I'm going to cast it out, let it go down to the bottom. Once it gets to the bottom, then I'm just going to start a slow retrieve back, and I'm just going to fan cast. I'm going to work my way up and down this particular area. I've caught fishing here before in the past, and it's time for them to be here now, so I'm going to check it out and see what happens. Like I say, I just let that thing go out there and I let it go to the bottom. These fish, I have no idea what the water temperature is. I feel like that it's going to be in the 50s, maybe even mid 50s since it got so cold. Those fish will be sucked down to the bottom, and right now. It's still pretty early. Oh, look at there, first freaking cast. No way. No way. First cast. Oh. Oh shoot. No way, man. He's not very big, but heck. Oh look, he's barely hung too. Oh man, I don't know if you can see that right there. He's barely hung in there. But I don't know where I was at now. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was going to say that early, the skies are blue. I don't know if you can tell that. There's not hardly any clouds. There's some way off in the distance toward Oklahoma somewhere, it looks like. The fish will typically hold real tight to the bottom, especially on these higher pressure days, colder water temperatures. And so I'm just going to crawl that thing on the bottom. Well, as the day progresses, and if it warms up, they may suspend more up in the water column. Well, I'm not going to be able to catch those kind of fish because I don't have any way of seeing them. If I had my live scope, I'd be able to just, you know, pick them off and pluck them off one at a time, suspended out in the open water. Just kind of, you know, they'll raise up into like a, I'm gonna say it's a different area where the temperatures may be better for them. They feel more comfortable. I don't know. But we're going to do what we can with what we got. I have not fished without electronics probably since I was, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 years old. And that's been a couple days ago. So we'll see what happens. I must not have thrown back in around when I didn't get a bite that time. That's another thing. They'll be tighter grooves. You know, they'll school up in tighter grooves, and if you're not throwing right in that particular area, you may not get a bite. Sometimes, like a few weeks ago, when the water was just starting to fall, maybe a month or so ago, when the first temperature started to fall, man, they were scattered all over. So you can catch them all over. It didn't matter where you were fishing. It was crappie just spread out everywhere in certain areas. But now they're going to get in tighter groups with the water temperatures falling. And then it's going to be real specific. So I'll have to remember next time I get a bite, if I get another bite, to hit spot lock so that I can make multiple casts into that particular area. I didn't expect to catch one first cast. And they may not want me swimming it. I may need to, you know, just get one and drag it over the edge and just do a slow troll. We'll just have to see. Sometimes they like it just sitting there still. If you put too much action into it, they may not hit it as well. So I've seen that with cold front conditions also. I just got that darn battery probably maybe 2 months ago. And I didn't have it on charge yesterday because I charged it just a day or so ago. And 23 degrees, I don't guess it liked it too much. Come on, crappies. Now, let's hope my trolling motor batteries don't fail me. I won't ever get loaded back on the trailer. I did bring my jumper cables with me, just in case somebody else out here as crazy as me going fishing. Maybe they'll be polite enough to give me a jump so I can get my engine running. I can let it run, maybe. If I let it run, at least I can use my electronics. There's one. There he is. That's all I needed to do. I slowed down. There we go. Slowed down from casting and started a slow drift. Oh, 48. Just started a slow drift with that heavier jig. I was just contemplating putting on another one, but I mean, I didn't have it on, but I didn't have it out maybe 5 minutes and caught that one. But I'm thinking, I usually, when it's real windy and it's fixing to start blowing, it acts like that I'll put 2 jigs on and then just do a slow troll or slow drift, just with it up off the bottom enough, you know, and that'll usually be pretty productive. So I'll keep this one on for a little bit and see what happens. With this cold front coming through and this colder temperatures, they just may not want that bait, you know, swimming. They may want it just suspending right there in front of their face to give them to bite it. We'll just have to see. So far, that's 1 and 1. I really can't make a decision yet. There's another one. That didn't take long. That didn't take long at all. Hey, come here, you. The little guys are biting so far this morning. Hey, be still. Well, I'm thankful to get him. Oh boy, I missed one right there. I got him that time. He come back after it. I'm gonna spotlight me right here. Maybe. He ain't a very big one, but I got him. He come out here without any electronics. Anything's good. And in case y'all don't know the law, on Lake Fork right now, you have to keep the first 25 you catch. Unfortunately, we ain't fishing Lake Fork today. I'm fortunate to have a lot of lakes in the area that I live in here, and can go to them at any time, and so but don't have to keep them all the time. But at Lake Fork right now, between now December 1st and the last day of February, you have to keep the first 25 you catch. And the reason why they do that is typically they're in deeper water and their swim bladder will come up out of their throat when you catch them, and so they won't go back down. And we have I don't know how many lakes in the state of Texas are like that. There's a few. So if you're planning on making a trip out, you definitely want to make sure that you know what the law is before you come on out right now. Oh, there's one. There's another one. Hey, a little guy too. Doggone it. I slid down the bank just a little bit. Kind of just drifting. And another little guy. Where are them big ones at? You would think they'd be somewhere close. Alright, I added another jig to my line there. This one here, a little spinner looking thing. Little pink head, white chartreuse too. Right here it is. Got a blue chartreuse on the bottom. This one up here on top. I just figure, heck, I need all the help I can get. Try different colors too, so this fishing without any electronic stuff, I tell you what, it can be a challenge for sure. You get so used to using that kind of stuff, you forget what it's like not to have it. There's one. There he is. Oh, that feels like a better one there. Yeah. He's a keeper. That knocked the snot out of it too, buddy. Not too bad. He hit on the other one though, the one I had on initially. So that white one, I don't know, maybe the white one got his attention and he ended up running into that one. Who knows? There's another one. There's another one. I'm guessing, he's a little guy too. I'm guessing I'm fishing around 15 feet. 15 to 17, somewhere in there. I kind of just estimated. There sure are a bunch of little ones biting. Where the biggest full, I guess. That one, I got that one though. Little guy again. Another little guy. They're still liking that blue and green. There's another one. There's another one. Another little guy. Down on that bottom jig. They're holding tight to the bottom, man. They're sucked down on it. And that's why they're not hitting that other one up a little higher. Little bitty one there. There's one. There's another one. Let's see what he's on. He's on. Oh, that's one of them little old yellow bass. Old striped yellow bass. Got it. He's little too, ain't he? Maybe that's all that's in this place is little. There's one. There's one. Come on, what you got? What you got? What color you got? The same dang color again. And they are all the same size too. All little guys. And all hugging the bottom. That one was just right here. Oh, there's one way out yonder. He was way out there, man. In some deeper water. Where are you? Hey, on the white and chartreuse one finally, and the biggest one of the morning. I'll be dang. Look at there, he got it outside the mouth. He didn't even get it in his mouth. Just hit at it and I got him. Not bad. Let's see if there ain't another one out there. That was out in a little deeper water out there. There's another one. There's another one out there. Just slow crawling that thing on the bottom. A little deeper water. I just got it on spot lock now. It's sitting in one place. And just crawling that bait. Crawling that bait back to the boat. There's one right underneath me. Right underneath me. He hit the black or white chartreuse too. Maybe they're fixing to change it up. Maybe. He was a little higher off the bottom. He's not very big, but when you ain't got any electronics and you just start flinging around, you'll take what you can get, I promise you. Alright, there's another one. There's another one. Come here, you. Hey, that's a better one. That's a better one. Hey, come on. Golly, you got it in there good, too. Not a giant, but still a decent little fish. What I'm doing, actually, is the old creek of this lake goes up through this area, you know, and goes out the dam where the spillway, they have a little spillway type area. And I don't know where it's at because I don't have my electronics, but I remember that it was in this area. So basically I'm just fan casting and dragging and drifting around all around where I think it is, the creek itself. So I'm not in it every time. I don't feel, like I say, I can't pinpoint exactly where it's at. But the fish I'm gathering are hanging around on the edges of it. And when I either drift over them or fan cast out across it or something, you know, that's how I'm picking them up. I have not felt any kind of cover as far as brush or anything. Just open, flat bottom, basically. Or, you know, I'm sure the little ditch is in there, but there's not any brush or anything like that for the fish to be around. They're just maybe around where the drop-off is. All right. There's one on that blue and white, boy. I tell you what, they can't refuse it. They love that blue and white, man. And he hammered it too. He wasn't like them others, just barely latching on. He got it. I was just kind of holding that nut off the bottom. Let's see if that'll work. There's another one. There's another one. Come on, you. Hey, come on. Uh-oh. Doggone it. There he is. There he is. Another one. Another little guy. They're fun though. I like to rub some stuff on him, on my jig. That way I don't have any nibbles. I just rub old fish slime on there. Here's another one. Another little guy. He smacked it though. There you go. Just goes to show you don't have to have electronics to catch fish if you've got a general idea of what's out there. You know, really, you don't need it at all, I don't guess. You can just kind of do like I'm doing and just drift around and cast around. You can still catch a few. They may not be the size you want, but every day is different when it comes to that. So some days they may be all big, other days they may not be. There's another one. There's another one. I'm telling you what, it's as fast as I can do it now. They're all about the same size. They all came from the same mold, I guess. There's another one. There's another one. There he is. There's another one. Very fortunate to have you, buddy. There's another one. There's another one. Come here, you. I'm telling you, they are all the same. But they are fish to be, you know. Catching fish without electronics ain't a bad deal. Those of you that ever have done this before know this isn't very fun, trying to load the boat without any dang engine. Whew. Oh, yes. Man, look at that. You think that ain't a good one right there? Alright, y'all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ride around. I'm going to use my side imaging and see if I can't find some brush piles. Okay, here's one right over here. I established that there's some out away from the brush, out in open water, just feeding on bait fish. Now I'm going to get in and I'm going to fish some brush piles or lay downs or whatever I can find. Right here's a little brush, looks like. There's a little bit. Here's a lay down right over here. Here's some more brush right over here. So I'm going to get in this area here with my live scope and throw it down and see if there's any crappie in these spots and see what we can come up with. It's 12 point, well, about 13 feet looks like. 60 degrees, so we'll see what we can find. It looks like there might even be a rock pile right yonder. That'll hold them too. Well, let's see here. We'll go to our depth. We'll pull it up within a foot or so of whatever the bottom is here. I'm going to turn the forward range further out there, locate some of that brush. I'm going to stay off of it first, make cast to it, see if I can get anything to come out of it here. Since it's only 12 foot of water, a little over, try not to spook those fish that are down there, if there's any. It looks like if there's any in there, they're holding really tight to the brush. We'll cast this jig out there and see if there's anything in there. I'm just going to work it back to the boat slowly, see if we can get a bite. I'll start on these shallower ones first, and I'll work my way out to the deeper pieces. It's always easier for me to catch them out of the shallow stuff than it is that deeper water, so I start shallow first and work my way out. Bird's talking nasty to us. Guess we got in his place or something. If there's any in there, they're holding really tight, and I'm not able to see them in this particular spot here. But I've caught many of them with a place like that where you can't see a fish in there at all. And then they'll come up, start, you catch one and you'll get the rest of them active. They'll be hiding down inside there. When I cast it out there, you gotta make sure you stay in line with that fish, and you can keep that bait the same brightness as the fish is. And he'll get it like that. All you gotta do is keep it the same brightness as the fish. Oh, golly. And they'll run out there and, hey. And they'll run out there and smack it. There's number one. And he's just holding, let me see if you can see this stuff here. He's just holding right down inside that stuff real tight. And just came up out of there out of nowhere and got that bait. I'm just using a little 1/8 ounce. It's blue and chartreuse. We got a 6-pound line here. Monofilament line. And a medium. This is a 7-foot medium rod. I can cast it farther than I can that little old short one I use. And if I'm in this stuff right here and I make a long cast, it helps me get the hook in it a lot better. And when I'm casting at them like this, I like to use monofilament more than I do braid. Basically right now I'm just using that live scope just to be able to see the cover, because the fish are so tight in it you can't really pick them out. I could do this with 2D if I had my 2D graph. It's broken. Now then, here's a bigger brush pile of some kind. It looks like there's something in the top of it. Could be a bass, could be a crappie. Throw out there over the top of it and see what happens. I don't know if I mentioned, but the water's 60, a little over 60, almost 61. And it's got these fish acting kind of funky, because normally it's cold by now, and they're, you know, the water temperature can be in the low 50s, upper 40s, and them fish are doing a whole lot different stuff than they are right now. They're kind of, one day they're in this place, one day they're in that place. They don't know where to go. Just like the trees. I got trees that are blooming and putting leaves on. It's the craziest thing. It's December. They're not supposed to be doing that. They usually chase it better in the warmer months when you're casting at them like this, but I always like to do that anyway right before I get up on the pile, just to make sure. Because if they'll hit it coming out of it, you can a lot of times catch a whole lot more of them in the shallower water like this. You can catch more if you stay off of it than you can if you pull up on top of it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I've cast at it a few times. It's pretty tall, and I can't hardly get in around it without getting hung. So I'm going to set this longer one, and I can just set it right down in the top of this thing instead of casting it and getting hung. And that, when I go down inside of it, I can ease it down in there with this longer pole. And I've got a lot of people who like to use braid. I'm not one of them. I've got 15-pound P-line on here. I can usually pull out whatever gets on it in that brush, unless of course it's a big catfish or something. I'm already hung up, just got in there. Hung on fishing string. Golly, shoot. I got that one. Okay, I got that one. Ooh, look what I got. Oh, yes ma'am, come here. Get on my thumb. Oh, yes. Man, look at that. You think that ain't a good one right there? That's worth dabbling around in that brush pile right there, buddy. That's a good one. That's a good one. You think she wasn't wanting that thing too? Way down in there. I just had to get on top of that pile though and drop it straight down in there. And I will tell you that if it was windy, I don't think I could fish it. It's so brushy. I'd stay so hung up in that darn thing. Because I'm staying hung up as it is. It's got so much brush in it. And the fish are so far down in it that I'm not able to get down in there unless I can just nice and easy drop it down in it. Let's see if I can get close enough to it and dabble it in there and get another one out of there. Hoping one gets it before it hangs up on something. Like that one. Like that one did. Looky there, another good one. Ooh, yes, man. Come on, get on my thumb. Not bad. Not the best, but hard to beat. So if you saw the other video, my last one, I was out just fishing open water and catching. I started out fishing shallow water and catching them right off the bottom, and then I moved into a little bit deeper water and caught them suspending around bait fish. And now here it is, I'm out here fishing brush, dabbling in brush and catching fish as well. So they're in all kinds of stages. I actually talked to a guy that caught some off of some docks here this week too. They're all over, and I know that there's guys that'll start catching them out of creeks right now too. They'll start moving in them if they haven't already. I don't know if there's enough water in them around here because it's so dry. We haven't dusted catfish for ticks. And there's just a little area that if you can get in there, you can catch one out of here. But if you drift around too much, you're going to be tangled up. Oh, got one right there, boy. You got it before it had a chance to get tangled. As soon as you get it in that little hole, this is a big old tree. As soon as you get it in the little bitty hole, if you can get it in there, you'll catch one. Not a bad one. We'll take it. Okay, is there any more left in there? Let's see. There's one little place that all the crappies are balled up in. Oh, golly bum, something touched it. There's one out there. He's not very good, but he was in there. Ouch. We'll take it. Get some scent on my thing here. I'll drop it straight down in the limbs of it here, like this, and you can catch a couple. Golly. See, we ease it back down in there again here. I think, too, another reason why they may be so tight is I have seen some, look like there's two big largemouth down in there. And them crappies are not liking it, I don't think. I got it. Oh, hey, look at here. Golly bum shoot. Dadgummit, that's the biggest one of the day. This stupid hook is bending out now. Dadgummit. Oh, he come up and got it. Yeah. I just got it in there close and left it. And he run up there and sucked it in. Look at there. Oh, let's see. I like that slime on my bait. Don't have to put any nibbles on if I got crappie slime on my plug. Okay. Where are you? I see a good one way down in there. Let's see if we can get him real quick. That thing's so brushy, you almost got to catch a fish not to get hung up. Oh, we got it too. Whoa, that's a good one right there. Heck yeah. Looky there. Yeah, that's a nice one. Oh, he got some sort of little something growing on him over here. Oof. There's several of them in that little tree, ain't they? Pull up here and pluck them and pluck them and pluck them and pluck them. Right down in the center of this thing. See if I can get hung down in there. There is another one out of there. Whew. This little bush is full of fish. They like that little old jig on there. Now that okay, let's see if there's any more down in there. See, any left before we go to the next one. Yeah, there he is. He is more down in there for sure. Another good keeper too. Alright, well, ain't no sense in catching all of them out of there, I guess. Let me move on, see if I can't find another piece of brush, and we'll see if there's any fish in it. I see one suspended way out here. I gotta catch him first. See him over here? See him right there? I gotta go catch that one. I may have to use my other pole. Let's see. I cast at him like this. He's over there hanging out high. Right there he is. I'm gonna catch that one first. He's right there. Yeah, get by him. Uh-oh, he took off after it and I scared him. Golly. Shoot. Here he comes. Oh man. Shucks. Here he goes. Here he is. I'm still on him. There he is. I told you I'd catch him. That's a good one too. Oh, that's a good one right there. Darn. Yeah, that was fun. I wish I'd had about 4 or 5 camera angles for you to see that. There we go. Let's let her go. Get back in there, girl. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to catch them right now. You can catch them off bridge, you can catch them off brush, catch them off standing timber, you can catch them out in open water. Just depends on what you want to do. Alright, I'm going to ease up on it now. After I've made a couple casts in there with that other jig, I'll move up closer. Uh-oh, there's that big one hanging out again. That rascal's gonna get caught if it ain't careful. I may just catch that big one right now. Get it over with. I did! I did! Get in here, you. Oh, man. There we go. Hey, 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 hey. There's a good one. Look at there. Hey. Alright, y'all, I got in some deeper water, and as you can see, there's a lot of small images right here, and there gets to be some bigger images when you get into this 15-foot and over the hard bottom too. The soft bottom was over there, the hard bottom's right there. Right where that breaks over, gets a little shallower, that's where the bigger fish are. I'm going to turn around and see if I can't catch a few of those. It looks like there's going to be some that are suspending in here. Look at here, these are pretty big images right here. We'll see what we can do. Alrighty, let's see if we can get us one out of here. Oh, there's one right there. The first drop out there. Golly, he ain't very big though. You'll see in them bigger images and end up catching the littlest one of the day. Guess we can't complain. Or we can, but it ain't gonna do no good. I'm just gonna go straight down. I can see some just hanging right off the bottom right here. I kind of got up on them. Oh, golly bum, I missed one. There's one right there, little guy or something. Yep, another little guy. Dang, I may have to move back out of this place and go somewhere else. I thought we was going to get into some good ones by the way it looked on the screen there. These that I've caught were holding tight to the bottom. Those bigger ones were up higher. I think I see a bigger one right over here. I'm just going to drift this jig. The wind's kind of picked up just a little bit now. Drift this jig by this one and see what happens. Oh, he hit it. He get it. Yeah, he's a little bigger. Still not as big as those others was. We'll take it. Golly. There we got him. These fish aren't relating to any kind of cover. They're just hanging off the break lines. These are relating to, you know, to a hard bottom. They're not, but they're not on any kind of brush or anything like that. They're just wherever the depth change is, that's where they are. See, there's another one right in here. Oh, he got it. He's not very big either though. Golly. Man, I'll have to move out of here for sure. Some of these fish, whatever kind they are scared of this thing. These fish started to move a lot when that little bit of breeze picked up. That one didn't move too far. Oh, I got him. Oh no, got my screen all wet. That's a good keeper. You know, when I didn't have live scope, what I would do is I would get in these same areas and I'd get on these break lines and I'd just troll a jig around. Just drag it around until I located them, and then I'd throw my marker buoy out, sit there and catch a few, move on to the next plot. But now with this, you can actually see them down there, so it actually, you know, saves you a lot of time because you can just throw right at the fish instead of having to drift around or troll around to find it. And I'm going to put a same color jig or something that's bright on another pole because this one's hard to manage. I like to be able to stay off of them. I think when I'm getting on top of them, some of them are kind of spooky. Even though I'm catching quite a few, some of them are running off. I can't see anything. I gotta use this thing just to get my line through there nowadays. Now let's see if they can hide from me. Give this one a couple more minutes. This spot, they were more little ones than there are big ones. We'll move and try somewhere else here. This one did. That one light blue and chartreuse right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's easier to manage this pole. It makes them smell good on my jig. Here we go. They are very spooky from this trolling motor. You want to make sure you get it right by them, especially when these temperatures are getting a little cooler like they are. Oh, I got one dead. Boy, he'll chase it just like that. When you get it right there by them. They'll run out there and get it. If you're away from them, yeah, you can forget it sometimes. I love casting to them like this. It's fun. Staying off of them. Casting to them. Bringing that jig right by them. Try to trick them into getting it. Like that. You can trick them into getting it like that, boy. Hey, 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 hey. There's a good one. Look at there. Hey. Not bad. He's pretty. We'll take it. Don't always think that the crappie have to be relating to some sort of cover, because that's not necessarily true. They'll be hanging out just in open water. And there's numerous ways to catch them. You could drift out through here, especially on a light windy day like this. You could throw bobbers out there and just drift the minnow or jig or whatever. Or you can do like I'm doing and cast to them. And every now and then, if you see one, drop it down straight on it. If you have this technology. If you don't have this technology, you can just drift. Well, all right, I established there out in this open water, out and away from the cover. I think I'm gonna go up and try to find some brush and see if I can't catch some around some brush. Hey y'all, in today's video, I've got my buddy Joe with me. We're gonna go out and try to do some open water fishing for some crappie. We're gonna fish anywhere from 25 to 35 foot. We're gonna use 2 1/4-ounce jigs. We're gonna have them tied on the same line together. And it's a term we used to call cannonball. That's probably just made up. I don't know, but that's what everybody called it. We're gonna get out there and drag a few jigs around, see what we can do. Y'all stay with us. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Drop it all the way down to the bottom and then just give it a little turn up to get it off the bottom just a little bit, and just hold it as still as you can. So I've got 2 1/4-ounce jigs on mine. One is black chartreuse on the bottom and then the gray one up here on the top. So we'll see what happens. You missed him? You got him? You got him? All right. We ain't been here 5 minutes, have we? All get her? You need the net on him? You ain't had it down there a minute, have you? You snatched it. Oh, catfish. Sure oh, is. Catfish Joe.
Cat Daddy.
It's up to you if you want him or not. I don't want to mess with him. You want him?
That size right there is good.
Oh, they're good eating if you want it.
Yeah.
I'll peel him for you if you want him.
I'll peel him. Oh.
You need pliers? Here you are. First fish of the day. The wrong species, but at least we got something in there. We're not going to go hungry. Joe, check this little pit tool I have out here. For folks like me that can't see good. You stick it bait like that. See that bigger hole it has in it there? You just stick it through there. Stick it, just let it go through. There's a lot of water, got it. And it's got it. You don't have to worry about trying to, and it's got a little blade on the back of it too that cuts it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's for guys that can't see good, man. Off of my, down I got a link in the description of the video. Yeah, you can buy them off of there. A Tie Pro tool. There's one. There's one right there. We finally got us one. Now I don't know if we'll see what he is first before we go getting that drastic. I don't even know what it is. He's little. Yeah. He's barely hung. Look at there. Yeah, it just tells you they ain't biting very good when they get barely hung like that. Oh, you got to keep all of them now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes in. It's in effect right now. So I got that one. We started getting close to this, all this shad, and he's not a very big one, but we got him. Hit the thumbs up. You know, one good thing about fishing like this is you don't have to have a live scope to catch them. You know, if you got a good depth finder, all you got to do is start trolling through the area where you see fish, and you can catch them. There's another one, Joe. He's not very big either, I don't think. Nope. Shucks. Just a little tater chip fish. But I'd rather clean a mess of this size than I would 2-pound fish. There's another one, Joe. He's on the bottom one. Not very big though. It's kind of what I was running into before out here. I mean, they'll eat, but they just, golly, they're small. I know there's got to be some big ones out here somewhere. Get him. He's on it. He set it down and got him, huh? That's all you had to do is let go of it. Yeah, just let go of it. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Well, he'll eat.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Like I said, he may make half a biscuit or something, but
it's always exciting. Nice and relaxing, but it's good to catch them too.
There's one, Joe. There's one. You had one too right before that? This one may be a little better one. Yeah, look at here. Yeah, we got him now. Yeah, that'll be good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll take that one, won't we?
Oh, man.
We need a bunch of them. There he is. You got him. Chain, is that the one you switched your jigs on? Another baby one, but, well, that's another one, yeah.
You hit that bottom one.
Oh yeah, that one is right there just hanging up off the bottom, huh? There's one. Yeah, I don't know. He's something. He's something. We'll take him. Can't be particular. Anyway. I told you they was coming. We was drifting through them. They ain't very big. That's a yellow bass. No wonder. Golly. Little bitty mouth. You want him? He'll get. He's good. Yeah, them old yellow bass good eating. Oh, I got one. I got one, Joe. I don't know if he's. No, I don't know if he's that good. Ah.
Got it?
Yeah.
I gotta send that one to
We'll take
2-speed.
2-speed. Oh yeah. Well, guys, hey, the wind blew us off the lake. We didn't get to fish, but just a little over an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And now we're going to load up and go somewhere else and see how it is over there. That's the way it goes sometimes. It just got a little too windy for us. So we sure appreciate y'all joining us. If you hadn't already, hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining us.